Okay, so I've had an intermittent issue with a slight whining noise from over here, particularly when I'm turning a corner, and it goes off when I turn the fan off. During normal use, it tends not to really activate it. And so what you can do is if you open up the bonnet and take out the pollen filter, you can spray into where the blower motor is, and often the bearings can get a little bit dry or worn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and take it out, and whilst I'm there I'm also going to just have a go at cleaning out the aircon condenser because it's nice and easy to get there. So I'll show you how I do it. So you access it from here, if I remember correctly, so I'm going to unscrew a few bolts and get this plate off. So they look like little Torx bolts, which is where Halford's little toolkit. Honestly, this bad boy can do so many jobs. I always have one in the boot. So undid 2 bolts, and then just this has a little clip here. I've pulled it forwards. Let's get that back up in there. So it's in there somewhere. So there is a method to doing this. I think it's like a little twist and a clip somewhere, and it just slides out. So I have to remember how I did that. Okay, so it's a little clip here that, there we go. So undo these bad boys, pinch clips. Okay, so here's the blower motor. I think the spraying the WD-40 idea was a bit of a mess, and I could see it had leaked into, if I show here, some of that under tray foam. That is WD-40, which won't smell nice, so don't do that in the future. But I'm going to give this a little clean out and then see if we can help the bearings a bit in there. I'm pretty sure this is the source of the noise. There's also bits of crap in there that can come out. So I thought I'd speed this bit up. So basically take out a few screws and then you remove the computer board that powers the motor. And it's quite easy then to just pry apart the 2 halves. I'm using isopropanol alcohol to clean around all the area. That's very safe to use on electrical components. I used a little brush cleaner there to pass down where the brushed motor is, cleaning the fins of the air vent there, using a bit of degreaser there. Elbow grease is dead handy for that, and then making sure it's dried out as much as possible before I put it back together. So next bit, so I'm actually using a little bit of fine machine oil. That's for sewing machines, but I figured I just thought that was a bit nicer than WD-40 because that tends to evaporate, I find, whereas this fine machine oil doesn't. And I'm putting it where the bearings are on either side. The one there is a little bit tricky to reach. You don't want to be spilling it all over the actual brushed motor contact points. Give me a little spin, and it doesn't actually make much noise when it's doing this, but when it was having issues, it sounded like it was screaming, and I can imagine that it would get worse, and it's just annoying. I just thought I'd clean out the fins here on the cooling side of the computer board there, and then I put it all back together again, so nothing too exciting there. You saw on that last bit, before I put that computer board back on, I used a bit of silicone grease just to create a nice seal. Here I'm just trying to clean a little bit of that board there, using a bit of the degreaser, and there was a bit of damaged foam there, so just sticking that back in place, and why not? So I'm trying to show you where the aircon condenser port is. So it's more towards the centre console below the gov blocks, and there's a little plastic cap that you take off, and then the actual air condenser cleaning nozzle won't pass through. It stops you from doing that, but I managed to wedge it in place a little bit. We'll just hold it there and then spray through, and it really improves the smell in the car. So I do this once a year now.